Five, four, three. Thanks for joining us. Welcome once again to Schenectady Online. I'm Joe Kelleher. It's a pleasure to have you here with us once again for another, well, we'll call it an exciting episode because I have a very special guest with me tonight, but we'll get to that in just a few moments. First thing I want to do is say thank you. Thank you to all the folks who have reached out to me and given me kudos on the show and mentioned about the show, that they've seen it, that they've seen me on camera, on TV, not only here on the show, but also on City Council. And it's been a pleasure, really, to get out there and talk about the issues and talk to people about the things that they feel so passionate about in our city here in Schenectady, New York. It's a pleasure to be here with you once again. Reminder that the second and fourth Mondays of every month, you have your opportunity to speak to City Council and find out what's going on. And we're going to talk about some of the things that are going on here in just a few moments. But first, I want to introduce my special guest for the evening. This person is always off camera, and through the powers that be here at the Schenectady Access Cable Council and a little bit of coercion, if you would, I got her to come on the program and sit second chair with me. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife, Linda Kelleher. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
I'm so glad you sat with me.
I know.
You're always off camera, and I always yell things over to you.
And I'm always signaling to you.
And you're saying, say this, say
yes.
this. Well, now what? You know what? Now you're going to be a part of the show with me. And I'm really happy to have that happen. Really. So, folks, here's what we're going to talk about. First, we need to say some thank yous. The first thank you is to the folks at the Festa. Linda and I had an opportunity to go down over there, and Joe Sinatra did, oh my, how many guests did he have? He had like 6 singers maybe?
Yes.
So it was just incredible. We had so much fun down over that way. He sang a couple songs first, and then he had me on as his first guest. I did probably 8 songs, and I think by the last song I was a little out of tune there because I was straining my voice. I haven't sung that much in quite a while. But we did have so much fun. I saw so many people afterward, and they really enjoyed themselves. And so many folks who saw me sing and said that they really enjoyed it. It was great, that they want to hear me do more, and that they'll have an opportunity to. And we'll tell you about that coming up in a little while, because I'll have another public appearance, if you will, coming up near the end of this month. Also, the Greek Festival, we hit there, what, 2-3 times?
Yes.
Over that weekend? And, oh my gosh, the food was just incredible. The people were amazing. It was so nice to see so many of our friends and neighbors out over there at the Greek Festival. And St. George's always puts on such a warm and welcoming show over that way. The music was just incredible too. So thank you very much for having us.
And so was the food.
Oh, the food. What little you ate?
Yeah.
Yes. Linda always has a little bit of what I have, but really we both enjoyed every bit of it. We really did. It was great. And just a couple days ago, on Tuesday evening, the Woodlawn Neighborhood Association had their Meet the Candidates night for the Republican candidates. And as many of you may know, I'm one of the candidates for City Council this year. So I want to say thank you to Ed Kosher, who is actually my opponent. He's the president of the Neighborhood Association there in Woodlawn. Lou Grosso, as well as so many of the residents of the Woodlawn area that came out to say hello and listen to what we had to say from the Republican side of things. And next month, pardon me, you'll have an opportunity to hear from the Democrat side. I have been honored to not only be endorsed by the Republican side, but the Alliance Party and the Libertarian Party as well. And at this event, we also had my running mate, Bob Barnes, who's running for the seat that Carl Erickson vacated earlier this year, as well as the candidate for the Assembly, Pete Vroman, who is the undersheriff currently in Montgomery County, amazing man. He's fantastic. He served our country for many years. Bob Barnes as well is a retired Army captain. And we also had Catherine McCary, who is an attorney, and she's running for city judge, and she's running on the ticket against Bob Hoffman. So you'll have an opportunity to, well, I'm going to invite you to go and take a look and find out about these candidates, and really a really strong race this year. It's going to be very interesting to watch and see what happens as far as the race goes. So there are lots of Meet the Candidate events coming up. In fact, I've got one coming up at Arthur's Market. Richard Genest offered his location once again to have, we're going to have a town hall style type meeting, and we're going to have people out over that way to come in and see, and Joe Sinatra will be there to entertain once again, and we'll have a lot of fun, some food, some entertainment, some great people, and invited lots and lots of folks, and we invite you too to come down. Not necessarily to talk about the issues, but just to come out and meet some of your friends and your neighbors right in the area. One of the first things I want to talk about are the quality of life issues. And I'm going to go to the camera here in the middle because I want Linda to chime in on some of this over here. Now, we went to the City Council meeting 2 weeks ago, and we heard a lot of folks talk about the quality of life issues. And one of the issues in particular, which we had gone to the planning meeting just before that, was regarding a lot of the convenience stores around the area. There's a moratorium currently on the convenience stores, and there's discussion on extending that moratorium. Now, Linda is the president of the Central State Street Neighborhood Association, and not only Linda, but I have also heard from some of the residents about some of these issues that are going on about these. And do you want to elaborate on that, or do you want me to follow up on it? I know you're a little nervous about it, but we're talking with friends here.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the hours of operation,
right,
and the noise, and the litter, and the loitering, and it's they forget that they're in a neighborhood. They're in a neighborhood, and they have to be a good neighbor. They have to realize that people have families that need, children need to get to sleep, and it's a matter of respect, and it's been forgotten, and they have to be reminded of that.
Well, now a lot of folks, you've done some research on this too, and some of the things that you found out are that on the certificates of operation, they don't have hours of operation on there. Is that right?
Right. On their permits on their application for the permit for certificate of use, they do not have hours of operation listed on some of them, not all of them, but hopefully with the new legislation that's coming down that the City Council will be addressing, that'll be addressed.
Now, we talked very briefly earlier before the show, and you had mentioned about a public hearing that may be coming about?
Public hearing Monday night regarding the moratorium, to extend the moratorium that's now in place on the convenience stores. It will be extended. I'm not exactly sure how long, but it will be extended. And that's going to give the city law department and city staff code time to dot the I's and cross the T's for this legislation that will be coming before the City Council.
Good, good. And now, what kind of quality of life issues have people talked with you about, if not from Central State Street, when we've been walking around the area? Because I know that they come up to you and talk to you about a lot of things when I'm off talking about some things too.
Well, a lot of it has to do with litter, and has to do with the vacant houses that are in their neighborhood. Their property values go down because there's vacant properties and boarded up properties. There's living right next to them, and the grass isn't cut, and the windows are boarded, and then they have the hoodlums on the street at all times of the day and night, and they're causing havoc on the street. People they can't afford to fix their houses up because there's no money left after paying mortgage and taxes.
Right.
And they can't refinance their houses because the property value isn't there.
Now, there's one couple I remember that we spoke with where they talked about how their property, the property taxes quadrupled,
Yeah.
right? And that was over, what, 15 years, was it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just an incredible amount of money that these people have to pay out. So their houses are basically underwater.
Right.
Some of them have gone to their banks and tried to refinance, and the banks are saying they can't refinance because?
The property value isn't there.
Right, right.
They owe more than what the property is valued at now.
Right. and we see a lot of folks that as we've walked around the city and that are in the same boat, who are they're very upset about this because, as I've mentioned before, at City Council, we have a city that was built for 120,000 people. Right now, we've got roughly 66,000 people here in the city that are carrying the load, and not even all of them, because it turns out that about 85% of those 66,000 people are on some type of public assistance, and that leaves about 20% of us or so to carry the load to make sure that the city resumes. So if a lot of those folks aren't paying taxes, that rests on the backs of whatever income they have coming in from sales tax, and from the taxpayers here in the city, which means you, us,
Yes, us.
all of you who are watching out over that way. It falls on our backs over here, and so it's time to make things a little bit more sustainable. And it doesn't matter who's at City Council, okay? You folks need to get in touch with other people who will get up and fight for you. Get in touch with your City Council men, City Council women, and make sure that they're held accountable to make sure that they're doing the right thing for you. Even some of the things like going to your neighborhood association, you can find out who your neighborhood association president or representative is by going to the city's website at cityofschenectady.com. You can find out information about the neighborhood associations up over there. In as much, you can find out how to help quality of life in your neighborhood by contacting your neighborhood watch representative too, because they're always looking for help, right?
Yes, they need it.
Yeah, desperately so. I had an opportunity to speak with the neighborhood watch president earlier today, Fred Lee, and we were sharing some of the information about some of the things that are happening in the area that are changing, that are modifying, people who are migrating from one area to another, people that are coming into the city of Schenectady because they can't find housing that's affordable to them in other areas that are more affluent, and they're looking into this area over here. So we have to be cautious, we have to be careful, and we have to play our due diligence and play our part in keeping Schenectady's quality of life up to par for what we, the taxpayers and the residents of Schenectady, want it to be. And you can find out more information on that on the Facebook page. It's a Better Quality of Life for Schenectady is the Facebook page. Make sure you look that up, or you can go right to the SACC, actually my show's website. There's information up over there, and that's Schenectady Online with Joe Kelleher. So moving right along, one of the other things that's happening in the city is Commissioner Bennett spoke on this past Monday, and he spoke regarding the animal control shelter that's right now down at the water treatment plant, right? So, and one of the things that he spoke at, now you had another meeting that evening.
Yes.
So I happened to go over that way. All the council members were over that way, along with, let's see, who else was there? Chief Kilcullen, Assistant Chief Alvo, I beg your pardon. So it was really a well-attended evening, and I think a lot of the folks went there and they were expecting to have an opportunity to speak. But this was at a council committee meeting. It wasn't the regular council meeting where people can go up and speak at the privilege of the floor or something that's on the legislative agenda. So we want to let people know that at the city council meetings, which are the second and fourth Mondays of every month, you have an opportunity to go up and speak, just like Linda and I do, and we do quite often, do we not?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And we get that opportunity, we take advantage of that opportunity. If something is working out well, or something is on the agenda for the legislative part, you get to speak for that, and you get to speak with the privilege of the floor. So there's a lot of stuff that you have an opportunity to look at. There's a lot that you have an opportunity to talk about. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to move right along with this over here, but you can find out this information up on the City Council's website. They talked about hiring new animal control officers. They talked about the Ag and Markets, the New York State Ag and Markets going over and taking a look at the facility, making sure that it's properly maintained. They also discussed the watering system, the feeding systems, and how when an animal comes about into the facility, what they do as far as getting the animal proper veterinary care. So really, I encourage you to go up and find out more about this if you have any passion whatsoever regarding this issue. Find out more information and do yourself a favor. Go up there to the rail and be informed. Inform yourself ahead of time. If you need information, I would be more than happy to scan this in and send a copy of this to you. You can reach out to me. Unfortunately, my email address right now is having a problem, so I've got an alternate email address that you can send to, and that's jkelleher, JKELLEHER @kellehertech.us, or you can send to jc@jckelleher.com, and I'll put both of those addresses up on the site at the Schenectady Online for Schenectady Online, rather, with Joe Kelleher Facebook page. Or you can also find me on Facebook over that way and ask for it. I'd be more than happy to send it to you.
Did they address the issue of dogs when they come into the shelter, how the people find their lost dogs?
Yes, I'm glad you said that. On one of the pages here, they actually mentioned about putting pictures of the dogs up on the website so that people can take a look. They also advised, and I'm glad that you brought that up too, because one of the things that was mentioned, was that they had an old scanner system to read the RFID, the ID tag. And although it's not required, they are planning on getting a new reader so that they can find out if the animals have a chip inside them so they can get the proper owner. Now, there was an incident recently that was discussed, and I guess Jack Falvo and Commissioner Bennett were both involved in this, where an animal was picked up and there was no identification on the animal whatsoever. I guess there was some misinformation, and he talked about this at the city council meeting. So they did a little research and found out what happened was that the animal was never licensed to begin with. Had the animal been licensed, then a lot of the stuff that happened and the escalation could have been avoided. So if you have a problem with an animal, by all means, make sure that you get the animal registered, get the license made, and get the license taken care of, so that your animal, it can be, if it's lost, it can be properly found and returned to you. We don't want to see stray animals around, not only a potential danger, because you never know how an animal is going to react to a stranger, not only a potential danger to other people, but what about the danger to the animal itself? The possibility of it being hit by a vehicle or getting in, falling down in some kind of a drainage ditch or some kind of an area, or the possibility of it being harmed by another person or another animal. So that's the last thing that we want to happen. You know, Linda and I have both had pets as we grew up. I've had dogs from in my family, from toy poodles and a miniature schnauzer from when I was born to a Great Dane, and now my mother has a chocolate lab. We don't have any pets right now because we don't feel that we're home enough to take care of that kind of thing. But believe me, the thought's been there, and we've had an opportunity.
A lot of the problems with them people not licensing their dogs is that they can't afford the vaccinations.
Right.
And the county offers a free rabies clinic to county residents, and all they have to do is contact the health department and find out what the schedule is.
Really? And how would you know about the health department? No, you don't have to answer that. So how do they contact the health department? Do you know what the number is?
Yeah, Environmental Health, 386-2818.
386-2818?
Correct.
And is there information up on the county's website for that too?
Absolutely.
So they can go up to the county's website. And what's the county's website?
County of Schenectady.
So just the city of Schenectady, there's the
County.
county of Schenectady. Okay, or they can do a search engine for that, right? Good. Well, thank you, Mrs. Kelleher. It is so nice to have you on the show for a change. So, Linda, actually, I was doing some work this morning, and Linda sent me a message and said, "Did you see the article in the Daily Gazette today?" Kathleen Moore wrote a very nice little piece, and talked about the upcoming city council races, which a lot of people don't know that there are two separate seats there. Okay, the first and foremost is the race that both Ed Kosher and I are going up against one another for. Now, what's happening is that Ed Kosher was appointed to the seat that Denise Brucker left right after the election last year. He was appointed to the seat and is filling that seat. So in order to fulfill the rest of that year, or the rest of that term, which is only 1 year, he has to run for it to make sure that he can get it, or the challenger, myself, I would have to run for it as well. So he and I are going head to head. That's one line. It's not the top vote getters in this election. It's the winner of this particular race. Now there's a second race, and this is for the seat that Carl Erickson left just over the summer. The Democrat side chose John Ferrari.
Yes.
The Republican side and one of the independent parties, the Alliance Party, got Bob Barnes, who I mentioned earlier is a retired Army captain. So, and I'll tell you, I have to give kudos out to Bob because he was an absolute machine out there. He got over 1,200 signatures to get the line, and he only needed 631.
Correct.
He got over 1,200, so practically double what he needed to make sure that he got that Alliance Party line, and he helped me a lot. And I think for us, because we went to so many doors where people had already signed for somebody, so they couldn't sign for us, but we turned in well over 900 signatures, which was a really great amount. And thank you to all of those of you who stepped out of your comfort zone and made the signatures, and we appreciate all the efforts that you put forth. So, two separate races when you go to the ballot box on November 4th, Tuesday, November 4th. Make sure you know that. Along those lines, I miscalculated, and I thought that the end of the month we could put the signs out for the political races. It turns out 45 days before the election happens to be this Saturday. Saturday, September 20th, right? Because tomorrow's the 19th, so the 20th. You'll start seeing more and more signs start to grow on some of these locations, out on people's lawns. So if you need signs, contact your candidate. I'm not going to say me, I'm not going to say anybody else, okay? Contact your candidate and make sure you get their signs, because this is the weekend that you can start putting them out and promoting your candidate. Make sure you do your research. I don't want you to just blatantly vote for the person who your party tells you to vote for, okay? I want, and I think my wife would say the same thing, we want you to vote for the person who you think is best for the seat and who you think is going to best represent you. Everybody has their own ideas of what they want to see on city council. Everybody has their own ideas of how they want to represent the people. All we ask is that the people do their research and find out the person who's going to best represent you. It may not be me, who I may not represent all of your views, but I want you to do the research to find out who I really am, or contact me and I'd be more than happy to talk with you. And I'm sure that any of the other candidates would be more than happy to do the same. Really, the best tool that, let me preface it with this. Any business, and you can vouch for this, that we're in, is a customer service business.
Correct.
A marriage is a customer service business.
Yes.
Okay? Because you are my customer as I am yours. Okay? Um, and when I'm on the phones, when I'm taking care of computer customers, when I'm talking with anybody in the public, it's customer service. Okay? Everything that all the candidates are doing right now is a job interview because we're going up there to do a job for the people, including ourselves. So we're representing ourselves as well. This is a job interview. When you go to the ballot box, you have the opportunity to hire somebody new or fire somebody old. The choice is in your hands. And in a race like this, in an off-year election, every vote counts. I can't stress that enough. Every vote counts. We've seen a lot of races here in the Capital District that have been won by one vote. Only one vote. Okay? It doesn't take a lot. We just have to make that effort. You have to make the effort to get out to the ballot box and cast your vote because it does matter. It does count. That being said, we're going to move on to some other upcoming events. So what kind of upcoming events do you want to talk about, Mrs. Kelleher?
I would like to talk about the Oktoberfest at St. Joseph's Church on Friday.
That's a good idea. Okay.
And unfortunately, it was also the site of Father Hogan's
right.
memorial service. And he will be sadly missed.
Yes. Now, you served with him on SCAP, right?
On SCAP board,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. SCAP, for those of you who don't know, is the Schenectady Community Action Program.
Right.
Right. And Father Hogan served on there for many years. In fact, Father Hogan himself was a father. He adopted 8 children? 12?
12 children.
12 children. Yeah. A phenomenal man. He was a great advocate for the community. So what better not to mourn for his loss, but to celebrate his rebirth and to celebrate where he is now and celebrate his life than to have the Oktoberfest at St. Joseph's. It's a phenomenal tribute to him. Inasmuch the passing of Fred Bartz.
Oh.
Yeah, he was very active in the community.
Also a member of SCAP.
Right, right. You and I went to both services for both of these incredible gentlemen, and it was sad to see, but you saw a wonderful tribute to both of them, and it was absolutely incredible to see all these people out here whose lives they touched. Fred was very active in the community. He was very active in the Republican Party. He was always out to everything. He was out to one of my events, and he just kind of sat quietly all by himself, didn't say much, but he was always behind the scenes doing something, or always very anxious to watch the city council meetings. So Fred, Father Hogan, we wish you all the best because we know where you are, and thank you for all that you've done for the city of Schenectady and her people. We appreciate it. Farmers markets are still going on. Especially we want to draw attention to the Bellevue Farmers Market. Jackie and the whole crew are up over there right now until about 7 o'clock tonight, and every Thursday through the month. So we've got one more left. One more left.
And Roots of Wisdom, I see on Facebook today, their face page, that they're picking blueberries.
This late in season?
Yes, the blueberries are blackberries.
Wow.
It was a big basket of berries.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, I saw. Who did we get? We got some strawberries too. That I see are kind of floating around here and there. In fact, we were at that wedding over the weekend, and we got that fresh strawberry jam. That's one of the gifts. Yep, very, very nice. So make sure you stop by your farmers markets. We've got on the 28th of this month, we've got the a meet and greet. It's going to be Meet the Candidate Night, where I'll have an event over at Arthur's Market. That's going to be on Sunday, the 28th, at Arthur's Market in the Stockade area, 35 North Ferry Street. Come down there, see Joe Sinatra, and your host is Richard Jeunesse, and who's been very beneficial and very, very helpful in my campaign. But this is not here really to talk about the campaign, But come down and see us and enjoy and learn a little bit more. That's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, goes until about 6 or so. Come down and see us. We'll have some great entertainment down there for you.
Maybe Richard will tap dance.
Richard was hysterical with this tap dance. He loves doing that. He just loves to entertain. He loves to sing, and I'm sure that he'll grace us with a song or two also. The last thing that I want to actually, I got two more things to tell you about. On the 19th, September 19th, at the American Legion, the sole American Legion home left in Schenectady County at 1809 Union Street. October, thank you very much, October 19th. That's going to be the spaghetti dinner to benefit our local veterans. It's being put on by the American Legion Riders. $10 a head. It's going from 2 to 4 p.m. And we'll have that information. Actually, I think it's already posted up on the Facebook page. So visit that Facebook page. Look for American Legion Riders of Schenectady, or find more information on American Legion Post 1092 Niskayuna. That's a Niskayuna post. It's right over the Schenectady town line. City line, rather. And the last thing I want to mention about is the SAC TV fundraiser and 40th anniversary Halloween party. That's going on the October 24th. It's Friday from 7 to 11 p.m. at the Schenectady VFW, 718 Union Street, Schenectady. $30 per person. Includes dinner catered by the Tuscan Villa. And let me tell you, they have some phenomenal food. You will not go away hungry. If you go away hungry, it's your own fault. They're going to serve it family style, so they can fit more people in there, and you will be sitting around a table, and you'll see people in costume. And costumes are required. Now, if you come to the door without a costume, not to worry. We will not turn you away. But you know what? Even if you take a mask just to cover your eyes up with, that is costume enough for us. But I can tell you that there are going to be some pretty good costumes there, aren't there?
Yes.
Yes, we're not going to tell you. You'll have to come and see for yourself what the costumes will be. Call for tickets. You can call me, and I can get you some tickets, or you can call for tickets at 518-831-9145. That's 518-831-9145. It's the SACC TV fundraiser and 40th anniversary Halloween party. Some great former hosts, original cast members from shows that were here on SAC TV, and come out, see them, and you won't be disappointed. It's going to be a great evening with some great entertainment too, from people that were on SAC TV from Channel 16, from 18 counties in the area, from its origination back in the 1970s all the way up until today. We hope you can make it on Friday, October 24th, 7 to 11 p.m. at 718 Union Street, the Schenectady VFW. Make sure you're there. Come and see us. Call for tickets.
Well, I think it's important to note that this SAC TV is not funded by taxpayers' money.
No, not at all.
So
not
this is a fundraiser.
Right. It's strictly a fundraiser for this to keep programs like this on the air, to keep you informed of things that are happening in Schenectady, to give you educational programming, information about your wellness, information about things that are happening here in the city of Schenectady, and we want to have you here back again and keep programs like this on the air, and we can only do it with your help. This is a public access station. Again, like Linda said, this is not funded by any government. This is funded solely by people like yourself who give of themselves and keep us up and running. And fun events like these really, really help make it that much better.
And provide an independent voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely we do. That's all we have time for.
See, it wasn't that bad. Patriots flight?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Would you like to mention that? Because who's going to wake me up at dark 30 in the morning if we need to get up?
Me.
Yeah, I'll bet you, and you'll enjoy that too, I'm sure. This Saturday, the 20th, meet at, what is that, 5:30 in the morning? We got to meet over there at the Schenectady Home Depot, Crosstown Plaza. You will see probably a good, I'd say, 100 motorcycles or so, if not more. And it's going to be a phenomenal event. The Patriot Flight is, of course, for our veterans to go out to Albany Airport and catch a flight down to the Washington, D.C. for the day. And these are veterans from World War II. These are veterans from Korea, Vietnam, for them to have an opportunity to go and see Washington, D.C. and these memorials that are down in Washington, D.C. And then they'll take a trip home that night. And what happens is all these motorcycles will be out there.
It's incredible.
And they escort the vehicle, the buses, right out to the airport all the way and watch them get up on the plane. And it's just an incredible thing to see.
And the people, the riders and other people will be there, and then we will
Yes.
send them off, and then we will welcome them home.
Right, right. And
at no cost to the veterans.
No, never cost to the veterans. It's Patriot Flight does a phenomenal job, and you'll have an opportunity to learn more about them out there. If you can't make it out to Home Depot at our dark 30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, again, that's at the Schenectady Home Depot Crosstown Plaza on the 20th. Meet us out at the airport and salute our veterans. If you can't make it that late in the morning, that early in the morning, make it in the evening for when they come home, and welcome them back, because a lot of these veterans never got the welcome home that they really deserved when they originally came home from the war. This is your opportunity. On behalf of my lovely wife, Linda, and myself, I'm Joe Kelleher. Thank you for stopping by Schenectady Online. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Make sure you stop and see us next time. Good night.